Hola muchachos, I'm Gigi. I'm really glad you're here. So let's get straight into today's video. I was staring at a blinking cursor for 20 minutes today. 20 minutes. Just negotiating with a ghost. Somebody had asked me to go somewhere this weekend. Somewhere I absolutely don't want to go. With people I don't actually want to see. So I opened the message and my thumbs just naturally typed the truth. No, I can't make it. 2 seconds. Pure, clean truth. I felt this incredible burst of clarity. Like I had finally figured out how to just exist in the world without apologizing for it. And then I just froze. I stared at my own message. I thought, oh my God, Gigi, you sound like a complete sociopath. You can't just say no. People are going to think you're a monster. So my autopilot kicked in. I started wrapping my own boundary in verbal bubble wrap. I deleted the period. Because apparently, in the modern world, a period at the end of a sentence is a direct declaration of war. I swapped the word no for unfortunately. I threw in an exclamation mark just to prove I'm still a fun, non-threatening human being. Then I hated how desperate the exclamation mark looked. So I deleted it. And then I put that little yellow smiley face with the sweat dripping down its forehead. You know the one? The universal symbol for please don't hate me for having a preference. Then I just kept going. I added a completely fabricated excuse about my schedule just to soften the edges. I gave them a reason. I blamed time. I blamed fatigue. I blamed the alignment of the damn planets. I spent 20 minutes managing the hypothetical emotions of a person who wasn't even in the room over a decision I had already made. 20 minutes of my life that I'm never getting back. We call this being considerate. We slap this noble label on our anxiety to make it look like a virtue. We tell ourselves we're just reading the room. It's not a virtue, man. It's an exhausting, invisible internal war. I'm bleeding out my energy reserves playing the role of the designated emotional janitor, frantically sweeping up everyone else's potential discomfort so I can finally feel safe enough to relax. And I'm doing it while sitting completely alone. What the actual fuck is this? I'm so tired of my own brain. And I mean, it gets worse. I was at the grocery store yesterday morning. I was just trying to buy milk. That's it, just a single carton of milk. Some guy had parked his massive cart completely sideways, just blocking the entire aisle while he stared at canned beans. Like he was trying to decode a secret message on a can of kidney beans. I tried to squeeze past him. My hip bumped into the metal corner of his cart. And my mouth, completely bypassing my brain, just automatically opened and said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I literally apologized to 4 wheels, in fact, to a completely inanimate, huge piece of metal. I'm standing there saying sorry to a grocery cart. And the guy didn't even look at me, bro. He just grunted. I took the blame for a collision caused by his terrible spatial awareness. I took on the guilt of existing in aisle 4 just to save him from 5 seconds of mild inconvenience. I walked out of the store holding my milk, feeling this quiet, burning hatred for my own cowardice. I realized in the parking lot that I'm navigating my entire life like a tenant who is absolutely terrified of the landlord. We all know the physical sensation of the tenant. We tiptoe down the hallways of our own lives so we don't make too much noise. We walk into a meeting or a family gathering and we physically try to occupy less space. I drop the pitch of my voice the second someone with authority walks into the room. Dangers present shrink to survive. I literally fold my shoulders inward. I make myself smaller so they can feel bigger. I apologize when I take up space. I ask a completely valid question and preface it with, I'm sorry if this may sound stupid, but why am I actually sorry? Duh. I own the damn building. Let that absurdity sit for a second. We hold the deed. We pay the emotional mortgage every single day. It's our life, our energy, our physical body. And yet we're hiding in the guest bedroom hoping nobody notices we're there. Just praying we don't accidentally inconvenience a guy staring for way too long at nasty Nate baked beans. Ridiculous, right? Anyways, I was thinking about that stupid little cactus I bought the other day. I should honestly be taking notes from a literal plant. It doesn't apologize for having spikes. It doesn't try to soften its edges just in case someone walks too close. It just sits there. It takes up its space. If I bump into it, I am the one bleeding, bro. It doesn't send me a follow-up text making sure we're still cool. It doesn't draft an apology email to my finger. This is it. I definitely need to be more like a cactus. Honestly, though, the absolute worst part of living like a tenant in your own life is that you completely lose the ability to trust your own baseline. You construct this massive, invisible committee in your head. I was looking back at my text records last night, and I genuinely wanted to throw my phone into the wall. I'm the absolute queen of the group chat screenshot. It's kind of sad, man. If I receive a mildly annoying email from a client or a vendor, I can't just reply to it. That would require holding my own ground. That would require actually making a solitary choice. Instead, I take a screenshot, I drop it into the group chat, and I casually ask the High Council for a ruling. Am I crazy, or is this guy being completely unreasonable? Is this draft too harsh? What do we think? Hey, yo, anyone there? I need help. What do we think of this dude? It seems I'm running a Fortune 500 company and I need board approval to tell a guy his invoice is 3 weeks late. Of course, I already know the guy is being unreasonable. My gut reaction was crystal clear the literal second I read the email. The answer is glaringly obvious to me. But the habit of externalizing my authority is so deeply ingrained that I physically can't execute the decision by myself. I'm not looking for advice, I'm looking for a co-signer. I'm crowdsourcing my own reality. I'm asking 3 other people to pause their entire existence just to validate my perception. I want 3 other friends to share the liability of my choice, so that if the email goes wrong, I don't have to hold the weight of the friction alone. If it blows up, I can just tell myself, well, Brenda, Karen and Sarah thought it was perfectly fine. We turn our inner lives into this incredibly noisy democracy where everyone else holds veto power over our own instincts. We treat ordinary, flawed, exhausted middle managers in fleece vests like they're omnipotent deities holding the keys to our existence. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Brenda, for granting me the legal authorization to exist on a Tuesday. I couldn't have survived this mild conflict without your legislative approval. I needed a quorum from 3 tired women just to hit send on a 2-sentence email. What the actual fuck is this? I'm outsourcing my own spine. You can't build an extraordinary life by committee. A committee is never going to vote for the bold move. A committee will always vote for the safest, quietest, most comfortable path. A committee will always vote to keep the peace, and the peace is fucking exhausting. I used to tell myself a completely different story about this exhaustion. I used to call myself an empath. I wore that label like it was some kind of noble badge of honor. I literally convinced myself that feeling physically wiped out after a 1-hour coffee date was just the heavy wooden cross I had to bear. The substantial price of being a highly attuned, delicate soul in a harsh world. I call bullshit. I wasn't a highly attuned soul, I was a human mirror. I was a frantic little weather vane, just spinning wildly to catch the exact tone of whatever room I walked into. If someone walked in stressed, I instantly absorbed their stress just to make them feel comfortable. I had 0 internal direction. I was just reflecting everyone else's panic back to them so they wouldn't feel alone. When you operate like that, trying to force confidence through sheer willpower is a completely losing battle. It's exactly like trying to hold a massive beach ball underwater. Yeah, bro, you get the picture? You sit in your car before a difficult conversation, gripping the steering wheel. You try to manufacture this fake sense of bravery. You build this incredibly fragile suit of armor out of adrenaline and forced positive thinking. You physically force your shoulders back. And for 10 minutes, the performance actually holds. You keep the beach ball submerged. But the physical and mental tension required to keep that thing underwater is immense. The literal second you get tired, the second your focus slips for one single moment, your grip loosens, and the ball violently explodes back to the surface. It hits you directly in the face and splashes water absolutely everywhere. I couldn't mindset my way out of this. My autopilot always wins in the war of attrition. I was just way too tired to fight the waters anymore. I didn't need to push the ball down harder. I needed to drain the damn pool. That's when I completely stopped trying to outmuscle my own brain. I started running the I am source protocol instead. I surely didn't want to sit there and journal about my lack of boundaries, no thanks. I didn't want to stand in front of a mirror whispering pathetic affirmations to convince my own reflection not to be terrified of the world. So I just put my headphones on. I laid back. And I let the audio interface directly with my subconscious. It was the most profound, weird thing, honestly. I didn't feel this sudden, fake rush of aggressive arrogance. I didn't feel like a warrior. I just felt heavy, like a massive cast iron anchor finally dropping all the way to the ocean floor. And it didn't need to fight the current, obviously. It just sat there, completely unbothered by all the chaotic turbulence happening above it. My internal noise just collapsed. The invisible committee was permanently adjourned. The very next time someone asked me for something I didn't want to do, I didn't even flinch. I typed no. I didn't wrap it in bubble wrap. I didn't apologize to the ghost. I just hit send. 3 seconds. Boom. That's it. And the world didn't end. I just finally closed the fucking door behind me. I realized how much of my life I've spent managing the comfort of people who don't even care about mine. Seriously, though, how did we agree to this stupid shit? All right, I gotta run. The bar is waiting for me. If you got something to say, go for it, bro. I'll be back around 3 a.m., probably drunk enough to comply with everything you said. Peace out.